So we have today talked about lots of different industries that are gonna get like digitized. And I think one of the core industries that are obviously super critical to all of our daily lives are finance and banking. So with that, I'm honored to welcome on stage Carlo Driussi from UniCredit. Please give a warm welcome to Carlo while we're taking a place here.
Thank you.
All right. So Carlo is an Executive Vice President, Head of Global Banking Services Division, Chief Operating Officer with UniCredit Bank. I assume many of you in the audience are familiar as one of the most digital banks in Romania. And he has a long-lasting career for several decades in the finance and banking industry. So he has definitely seen things before internet banking was a thing. So I'm very eager to hear from you about that. So what I'm very interested in is like, I mean, what we've seen is like this virtuous cycle of digitalization that has hit the industry, right? Like, and I think it's kind of a combination of digitalization, AI. I think there's been a lot of like hype going on. So how is this gonna like change the industry? Am I gonna like only like talk to an AI in the future, or how is like banking gonna work?
Well, first of all, let me spend 2 words to thank you for having me here. This is really an impressive event, most probably the most important event about technology in Eastern Europe. And you know, in UniCredit we always used to say that we want to be a digital bank supported by data, but on the other side also very close to our local communities. And this event is proving that we can be very close to our local communities. Then, coming back to your question, are we going to speak just to an AI? Well, yes and no, meaning that we already have a robot. If today you call UniCredit call center, for sure is answering a robot that we called Joanna. Is machine learning, is managing all our incoming calls and managing autonomously at least 30% end-to-end. Having said so, and this has already been for a while, then you mentioned also the virtual circle. This has been even more boosted by the pandemic, you know, and I don't think that there is a way back, meaning that also our clients got used to this kind of service, remote, faster, and simpler. On the other side, I said yes or no for one reason, because I strongly believe that in the future, we will keep asking the personal contact when it comes to huge investments. And huge investments can be huge as for private individuals, like me, a retailer, or for a company. For me, maybe it's just about a mortgage, and I need a consultancy of a person helping me understanding and navigating through the offers. And for a company, it can be a real important, huge investment in terms of million euros, where they need to understand how to finance their company, how to work on the EBITDA, as we were listening before our previous speech. So in this sense, I believe that the future is going to be a cooperation between technology, fintechs, and banks.
So what you're saying is if I want to like just wire $50 to a friend, then I can do this via Joanna. And if I want to like buy a house, then I'm probably still going to talk to a real human to get a credit for that.
Definitely.
That's the vision that you guys have. And how do these two collaborate? Does like Joanna at some point in time, if I say like, hey, I want to have a credit for my house, does she say like, hey, like talk to your real banker? Is that how it works?
No, I mean, still you are going to be redirected directly to a colleague. She's going, first of all, to understand also the language, so meaning the different kind of accents in the Romanian language. So it's constantly learning that. But then when it understands that you need a relationship manager, then you are going to be redirected directly to that.
Very, very cool. I think, unfortunately, my Romanian is so poor that I don't think Joanna would understand
I'm
me.
pretty sure that she is going to do it.
She would even understand
We
my,
can-
my,
we can
my,
have a
my crappy
bet.
German Romanian. Yeah, okay. Next time when we have you here, we do like an on-stage call to Joanna and see
Sure.
if she understands, if I can like wire some money. Anyway, so what you shared earlier when we talked about is that UniCredit wants to become like a truly digital bank, right? Like, and I think there's a lot of things like big data. We talked about AI. So what do you see changing in the next like 3 to 5 years in this journey of digitalization?
Well, first of all, the group, UniCredit Group, is going to invest a huge amount of money on that in the next 3-5 years. We are speaking about several billions euro. Having said so, the digitalization, let's say, process already started years ago in Romania. And for instance, we have several products and features that we are already offering since a while to our clients, especially starting from mobile banking and all what it comes with that, like issuing instantly in less than 2 seconds a debit card, the possibility to send cash via WhatsApp, the possibility to participate to a so-called smart shop with the other clients, company clients that want to be part of these schemes. So there is an important offer in these regards also for our bank, and this is going to be just let's say how we are going to continue in the future, without forgetting that the culture of digitalization is very important, and banking and finance is perceived by fintechs or by the market, and not always as the most innovative field, no? Well, someone even think that fintechs could be a threat for us. Here, I'm here also to get as many contacts as possible, because I strongly believe that fintechs are not a threat. They are an opportunity for us. And we are an opportunity for fintechs, because we still have a large scale in terms of capital, in terms of data, in terms of network and market. Fintechs can have ideas and can bring the right challenge to us. So I believe that it's not a competition, but a cooperation that will make all of us succeed in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I strongly agree, right? Like, you need to bring like the best of both worlds together, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're beyond the stage where the internet, where you need to bring traditional players that have large customer bases and that have also a lot of reliability, right? Like, I mean, I think the one thing that I truly love about my bank is that it is like very, very reliable, right? Like, I mean, I think we've seen in the crypto space how painful it is if you
Yeah.
lose a lot of money. I think this is okay when I like put some money in there, that's fine, but I don't want that my salary disappears from one day to the other. So I do think like the reliability and the trustworthiness that banks have is a huge asset to
This
bring.
is an asset. This is definitely an asset, and the fact that we are heavily regulated is just a benefit for our clients. So maybe will make us slower in some cases, but for sure stronger, and this is a value for the community.
So how do you see with like startups, founders, or entrepreneurs in the audience? How do you see them working with UniCredit and your bank? I mean, might be as customers, might be as like partners. How do you see your way of approaching the tech ecosystem?
We started already a cooperation some years ago with a fintech, Finnish one, which is called Miniga, exactly for developing together our mobile banking that we are really proud of, and the portfolio management within the mobile banking, the user experience for our clients. And this is, for instance, one experiment we did, which was very successful, and it's ongoing. It's a strong cooperation now. My suggestion, generally speaking, about fintech owners and those that have a strong idea is to compromise. Compromise meaning that you are bringing to a bank or to an investor your idea. You are bringing your fresh capacity, your courage to innovate. Then the major first concern that a big institution could have is this company going to survive the next cycle, okay? Or is the owner interested in keeping the company, or is going just to put in place, start, and then after an early stage, so we are not speaking anymore about startups, we are speaking about early stage companies, when already some capital has been collected, is it going to sell this company to someone else? And then what is going to be for me in terms of coding, source coding? So a strong cooperation should be also based on sharing the coding and sharing together the good time and the bad times. So this is also what the bank can bring in terms of asset to the fintechs.
I'm looking forward to hear much more about the partnerships you have with the startup ecosystem. As a passionate startup person, I hope, of course, that traditional banks can work more and more with startups. So I hope I'll hear many exciting announcements from you in the next few years. So with that, I'd like to shift gears a little bit to the topic of like culture. So we had like early this morning, we had like Mark Porter, a senior technology executive, was talking about like company culture and how important it is to foster that. So as you're driven towards this like digitalization and transformation, obviously that's also a huge shift in culture, right? Like it's not about like replacing a few computers with like more modern programs, but it's about getting the people in your organization on board. So what did you do to get people in an organization that has existed for like many decades? I don't know exactly when you guys were founded, but definitely like in startup terms, this is like an era that your bank has existed. So how do you get people on board on this like transformation? How did you do it?
Well, first of all, one step back, because when you speak about decades, you are absolutely right. I started my career 25 years ago, and 25 years ago, this was not relevant at all. I mean, on my desk, there were a couple of tens of kilos of a desktop. So, you know, it was not a real digital bank. And also from the organizational point of view, it was not even present within our org chart. No? In our organization, it was not even recognized. After that, after a while, already in the late 90s, beginning of 20s, you know, we had the alternative channel. They were starting, they were alternative to the normal channels, that those were people were still going and colleagues were still selling products to our customers. Now these alternative channels became, you know, digital channels. And really nowadays, we are not anymore even distinguishing alternative digital from the others. It is omni-channel. So the future we believe is going to be for all products digital, okay? Given with, if possible, with the same experience wherever you are accessing to it, whether it is the branch or via internet. And therefore, you understand how the evolution within the banking, also in the banking organization has been. We locally here in Romania, we just a few months ago launched the so-called tech school that I'm really proud of, because it's combining my personal two souls, because I have had out of 25 years, most probably around 10 in HR and almost 10 in IT. And so this tech school has as a target the several. First is to, let's say, spread the knowledge of digital within technology within the bank, okay? So we are inviting periodically speakers to tackle together with us some hot topics. Last week we hosted a very relevant person for blockchain, Sebastian Coginesco. And this is one stream of our tech school. Then there is also other two. The second is to go directly to the universities, tech universities, and offer, let's say, internships and stages and training programs for students in order to get in touch with them in an early stage, even before they finish their studies, in order for them to know our business world and for us to get in touch with potential colleagues, new colleagues in an early stage. The third, which it is not yet formally, let's say, launched, is going to be a master with the technology university, offered for colleagues, but not only.
Is that going to be in Bucharest or in Cluj, or where's
Initially in Bucharest, but why not? We can extend it. We can try to extend it.
That's all of you that you have to like
Yes.
take Carlo out for a few nice drinks, and if he likes Cluj enough, then he'll build his master program in Cluj as well.
Absolutely.
No, so what are in these kind of like technology school, what are the technologies in that space that you're personally most excited about?
The field in which I am the most in love with is blockchain and NTF, which, by the way, is the latest that we touched in our tech school. But this is my personal, let's say, favorite field. And yes. I really believe that it is going to appear in a predominant way in the near future. Even if blockchain, among the characteristics of blockchain is to be decentralized and trustworthy. But yet, considering that, in terms of data, when we speak about data, garbage in, garbage out, we still probably will need a central team which is regulating and is ruled by the regulator in order to assure that the data that are entering into it are clean.
Yes, I mean, it's very encouraging to have somebody in like a high position like you in a traditional bank being a blockchain, I assume, like crypto fan. So I'm like eagerly waiting for...
Blockchain does not mean, by definition, crypto fan. I'm not encouraging anyone to, and neither the group is doing on the opposite, to buy crypto. But blockchain, in terms of having the possibility to decentralize the information and to have them certified is, from my personal point of view, this is not, let's say, related to my work. My work is still not into it.
I'm very eager to learn when Romania will have like a digital lei, but I'll not put you on the spot to comment on that, so I'll not put you in a difficult situation there. But what I'd be very, very eager is, I mean, you like impressively shared like how 25 years ago banking was like a completely different world. I would have two questions, right? Like what's next in digitalization? That's like the more short-term question. How do you think banking is going to be in 25 years? I assume you'll be like on a beach and relaxing somewhere then, but like how is it going to be in like that time frame? So how's like digitalization like in the next few years, what's going to change? And how's it going to look like in like maybe 10, 20 years from now?
Well, not having the crystal ball, honestly, I don't know how much I can go further, if I can reach really 25 years or not. In terms of what is going to be next and I'm answering for finance sector. I'm not answering for the fintechs. I repeat again a key word that I already mentioned before: culture. For banking sector, it's important to bring on board this culture, this constant way of innovating, which implies also the possibility to make mistakes, so to be tolerant to experiments, to be focused on research, so meaning investing, and going ahead with trial and errors. It implies a strong cooperation, so being open-minded and collaborating with the fintechs, not looking at them as competitors, but really being ready to embrace some challenges and to work together on some products. So this is how I see, let's say, the nearest future. About the longest, we will discover.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited, and I hope that the pace of innovation doesn't reduce. So in terms of like, again, like people here in the audience, I assume as you go this digital transformation, you're looking for a lot of talents in the engineering and software space. Is this like a fair assumption to make, and anything you want to share on like talents you're looking for?
And thank you for this. Thank you for offering me the possibility to say exactly this, that we are looking for, engineers, software developers, business analysts. So now I will not offer here all the vacancies, but people can reach me out immediately afterwards, because this is something that it is tremendously important, and we are competing. When you ask a new graduated engineer, are you going to work for a bank or are you going to work for a gaming company? Now we are losing this bet, let's say 8 times out of 10. But still, if we are capable to present ourselves on time, and this is why we are trying to approach the universities in an early stage, and if we are capable to present to the students the opportunities in a bank, I believe that still we can be of interest for them. So I'm very happy to acquire as many candidates as possible.
Yes, I think we all are trying to hire. I think like anybody
Yes,
who has a
exactly.
company here is like
strong competition.
everybody I can say who has worked in tech is like very, very lucky with a job market. So I think you can get a competing offer from Carlo and like a few other companies, and then find a great company not only that pays a good salary, but that also develops and builds products that you believe in.
Yeah.
And one of the good
Some
things
amazing
of
business.
banking is that you're obviously serving millions of people in a good way. So Carlo, with that, I really want to thank you for visiting us here from Bucharest and from Italy, I think more lately, where you flew in. I'm glad you made it here despite all the, what you said, like the fires in Italy. So.
It was pretty difficult to reach here, but thanks God we did it. There was a huge fire in Rome. It blocked completely the highway exactly towards the airport. So basically, after 1 year and a half that I was absolutely blocked on the highway and I was redirected back to the city, I thought, oh my gosh, it's going to be a remote interview probably. No, then actually we managed to breach some speed limits and to reach here.
That is, I think, the first time I say that a banker is breaking the laws to join us at Texavania. We feel very honored. Well, Carlo, thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it, and all the best in further digitalizing UniCredit.
Thank you.